Hi, good afternoon, everybody. Thanks for joining us this afternoon. I'm just having some issues with my video. So you can't see me yet, but hopefully we can get that resolved very shortly. If I can just ask those that are hosting this presentation for us, if they can change the permissions on it, then we can get going. Otherwise, I shall just have to speak to you without any video. Thank you for joining us this afternoon. Today we're going to be looking at the Global MBA program with Ducere Business School and Rome Business School. If we can just move over to the next slide. Thank you very much. Let me introduce myself. I'm Chris Soffley. I'm the enrollment manager here at Ducere Global Business School. And today we're going to be joined by a couple of guests. Pleased to say that we've got Gurley Sarah from the Rome Business School, also joined by members of the academic faculty in Juan Carlos Robena. Tara Stokes, our learning experience manager, will be able to talk over the student support side of things for us. And also we're going to be hearing from one of our students, Raya Roll. So just running through what we're going to be covering today. I'll give a little bit of an introduction as to what we do here at Ducere and the platform that we offer. Go into some more detail about the Global MBA program before I pass over to Gurley, so you can get an understanding of the partnership that we have in place with Rome Business School on this MBA program. You're going to get an opportunity to hear from the academic faculty, as well as learning experience support. And of course, we're going to get an opportunity to hear the student perspective from Raya as well. We always on our webinars have an opportunity for questions at the end. So please, if you do have questions, post them down at the bottom of your screen. You should see a little box for Q&A. Pop your questions in there, and at the end of today's session, you'll have an opportunity to ask all of us across as panelists any questions that you have. So starting off, a little bit about Ducere Global Business School. So we are an online learning platform, and we have partnerships with universities around the world. Obviously today we're talking about the Global MBA program that we partner with Rome Business School and the Valencia International University. Our mission is to create industry relevant qualifications and sort of bridge that gap between industry and academia. All of our programs are 100% online. There are no exams. And of course, what we're offering is industry relevant courses to you. They're all tailored towards your sector that you work in. So delving into the structure of the Global MBA, it's made up of 6 modules across the 12 months. Those modules are ethics and problem solving, diversity and inclusive culture, global business strategy, global marketing and communications, managing transformational change, and leadership in practice. Now, as with all of our courses, these are delivered 100% online. So this is a completely remote course. You will, however, have the opportunity to graduate in person at Rome Business School. It's important to remember, and Gurley will touch on this in more detail, that you are part of their university and that you, upon graduation, become part of their alumni, as well as the Ducere Global Business School alumni network. All of the work that you do across this program is applied, based around applied learning principles, and each module will have a mixture of assignments and discussion pieces and quizzes to keep you on track along the way. Here, as we see on this slide, we've got a little bit of an example of what our online platform looks like. It's available through a browser. It's also available across your phone and your tablet. So you really can learn anywhere. And through the flexible approach of the course, jumping on, whether that's in your lunch hour, whether it's within your evenings or weekends. You've got platforms through which you can engage within this course. Moving on to the next slide. So there are two options in terms of the entry criteria. You can either come in through the traditional academic route, having a bachelor's degree, or if you've never studied at university before, you can enter the program through just 3 years of management experience. The course fees, the ones displayed here, are the full published fees across the program. Please do speak to an enrollment advisor if you are interested in signing on to one of these programs, as we could discuss all of the different scholarship discounts that may well apply within your region. So now I'd like to take the chance to introduce Gurley from Rome Business School, who's going to be discussing a little bit more about the partnership that we have in place. Gurley, thanks for joining us this afternoon.
Well, thank you so much for inviting me, Chris, and all my friends from the Ducere Global Business School. We just met also last week in Rome for our convention. It was such a lovely occasion to just reconnect and share experiences. Sarah was there. We have missed you, Chris, and part of the team of Ducere, but definitely we're gonna convene again to have that opportunity to obviously share experiences and best practices. Right, so today I will be sharing with you a quick presentation about, yes, let me share this. Okay, can you see my slide?
Yes, we can see them.
Fantastic. So let me just go back to what is Rome Business School. First of all, I would like to just reconnect with all of you. My name is Gurley Sarah. You can connect with me on LinkedIn. I'm a senior manager, international business development for Rome Business School. I have been with the institution for almost 5 years now, and in Rome for 10 years. Our mission and vision and values is something really important to us. Obviously, to summarize in a few, that we train managers to be better managers for a better world. So we treat our students, as you know, they are all following the courses as a postgraduate program. Achieving MBA with Ducere obviously is something, the most important program that we have. We create global learning community because we share with our family Planeta Formación en Universidades. It's a huge company or a family of business schools and universities and vocational schools across the globe. And obviously we represent Rome in general, and we are the most international business school based in Rome, Italy. We count more than 274 partners internationally, and one of them obviously is Ducere, representing the US, the UK, and of course Australia, and basically global outreach to students that loved our program. Obviously, we count 63 countries as part of our partnership, and that's something that is core values of Rome Business School, is really creating that alumni of students from all over the world. Our accreditations and rankings are published in my presentation. All our programs are actually in double degree with University of Valencia, based in Spain, and they are also part of our family, Grupo Planeta en Formación Universidades. Among that, obviously, as you can see, we count more than 161 countries. In Rome, in general, we have hosted more than 150 students, more than 150 countries. Our students, obviously, is from all over the world. And so if you find yourself in this webinar right now and you can see your country, or you might have not seen yet your country, then for you, it's time for you to step up and really have that opportunity to reach out. And I think it's a great occasion, obviously, for any of the students. Of course, you have a home in Rome, and you have all the your alumni students around the world, where you can reach out anytime. We are global, like as what Ducere is promoting is obviously totally true, in a way that what we create is really a space for everyone, not only for them to be prepared in achieving their dream MBA, but obviously really prepare them in the workplace. So a journey that we are absolutely very, very committed, so that our students, not only Rome Business School students, but also Rome Business School students through our partners, shared experiences both in Rome and other 7 destinations. As you can see in my screen, we have international experiences, bootcamps experiences for our students and students partners, both in Paris, in Silicon Valley, Barcelona, Nigeria, Tuscany, and obviously in Spain. Obviously in Rome, we gather every summer, and we count more than 150 participants, and that's one of the experiences that actually have really create a great value for any students, especially for who follows who is enrolled in Ducere Global MBA Program, because they have that opportunity to join us in Rome for a week of international experience, and meet all other students from all over the world, and have that experience to really connect with Rome Business School and join the other participants during the graduation. So our journey core program reconnects to being really true link with companies, and that means we understand what the industries and multinational companies requires from our students. And we achieve that by being international, by providing a purposeful professional impact through our career services, and totally devoted to educational methodology that applies not only a face-to-face method, but also a really dynamic hybrid method. So as I mentioned about being linked with companies, our core or to our commitment, because when we know that any opportunities to change career, or opportunities to actually gather or achieve that acceleration to be in the position of leadership, that's what we want from our students. And we give them tools to literally achieve their dreams. And that's something that we share definitely with Ducere Global Business School, because they are very committed to that, and we work together to achieve that experience that RBS, Rome Business School, and Ducere Global Business School students are actually welcome to stay and start a journey, an experience that provides a top quality and advanced training, not only because they will be prepared for a workplace, but they can be prepared to a leadership position, and not only to be prepared as they plan to be an entrepreneur one day in a field of business that you have chosen, and eventually have that great reality that they can say the future is actually made to make it happen. And I believe that Rome Business School really prepares every student, so as Ducere in this partnership, to prepare them for a better future. And not only because we are committed to really creating the better managers for a better world. And I think it is up to you to decide whether, if you choose an institution or a higher education for an MBA program that really truly cares to your future workplace, to your future placement in the workplace, or your future entrepreneurial adventure. So I encourage everyone in you to ask questions, ask whatever you want, however you would like to, and find solutions together with your admission advisor, because they are there to help you. And I'm also more than happy to connect with you if ever you connect with me on LinkedIn and ask me questions. So thank you so much for having me tonight. Such a lovely evening here in Rome, and we would love to see you soon here once you enrolled with Ducere Global Business School. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Gertie. I'd love to say it's a lovely evening in London as well, but it's not. It's utterly miserable. But thank you for sharing all of that information on Rome Business School. It's so important for us to kind of be able to present to our prospective students all of the information about the important partnerships that we have in place, and all of the aspects of what it means to be a student on this global MBA program. Very happy to be able to pass over now to the academic team. Juan Carlos, thank you so much for joining us on today's webinar. I'll pass it all over to you. I think we're just having some audio issues there, Juan Carlos.
How about now?
That's it. We can hear you. Fantastic.
My computer thinks I have too many microphones, apparently, but we continue. Thank you, Chris, for the introduction. Much appreciated. And it's going to be difficult to follow up such a nice presentation, but I will do my best. My name is Juan Carlos Roaina. I am one of the academic faculties here at Ducere. And as the slide says, I am one of our pracademics, which is a much easier word to write than it is to pronunciate. My goal here with courses, regardless of where you are in the program, is to combine the knowledge of the theoretical and what I get to do every day in my outside Ducere life as a consultant and a business owner, to really help guide you in your academic journey, to get you to the point where you're not only just learning information in the classroom that is interesting and will help you get a nice degree at the end, but it's really tangible, practical information that you will be able to apply hopefully right away. When we have assignments in our courses, you've heard already mentioned that we don't really do tests here. Instead, we have practical assignments. And the reason we do that is that we recommend that you focus your work on, if possible, the idea that you have now, or the company you already work for, or the company that you're starting up. Why? Because you're going to be able to take the course concepts, combine it with the feedback from your academics who have done this before and have been in your shoes, not just as a student, but as an entrepreneur, as somebody who's working in the space, give you that feedback, be able to apply what you're already doing directly into the workforce, directly into your idea, directly into whatever it is that you're trying to do. That's really something that we hope will help set you apart, because it will allow you to grow not just academically, but also professionally. Our courses are designed to be flexible around the experience that you're hoping to have as a student. So we do have live sessions that you can join with us, the academics, so that you can ask your questions. You can listen to live discussions about the topics of the course. But we also have all of these videos recorded, because we recognize that not everybody can be around the computer at the same time of the day, especially considering we do have the advantage of having such a global audience. We have students in classrooms that span the globe, that span time zones. And we want to maximize the amount of time you get to spend together, but also understanding that not everybody can be around at the same time. So you're going to get to experience the course at your schedule, as well as be able to work on those practical assignments. The other thing I want to make sure that you know before I hand off is that we here as the faculty are here to guide your journey to the best of our ability. We're always available to you via email, Canvas. Like I said, we have those sessions on a regular basis so that you can drop in and communicate with us directly. We want to make sure that your journey through both your professional advancement and your academic advancement is as strong as possible, that you get the level of attention you're hoping for, but most importantly, that we help to guide you in the direction that you want to go. The students that do the best in our courses are the ones that take advantage of all the resources available to them and are willing to put that practical work into those assignments to really take advantage. Not just, it's interesting always to look at public companies or companies that may be around you, but the ones that really get the most out of it are the ones that apply themselves to the ideas they're working on or to the firms they're at right now. And we see it in the reports when we're reading the assignments to give you marks, right? Not only are those papers usually very, very strong, but on top of that, we see as you go across the program, as you grow in your idea, as you get stronger with your product, and our hope is by the end, not only have you gotten a degree that will be of great value to you for the rest of your life, but also you can apply what you have done immediately. And we just love to see the fruits of it immediately. And I can tell you it's happened from experience, and it's great. And I hope that it continues to happen with all of you when you come on board. So I'll be sticking around until the end, as always, to answer your questions, because as a faculty member with Ducere, that's one of the things we specialize in, sticking around and answering your questions. So please send any our way that you have. Not to take up too much more of your time, I'll hand things back over to Chris.
Thanks very much, Juan Carlos. Always insightful. And yeah, please, any questions that you guys might have for him, please post them through into the Q&A box at the bottom, and we'll come to those in the Q&A section at the end of this webinar. Now, you've heard from the academic team and also from the partnership. You've got a full understanding of what's involved in the course. I'm sure if you haven't already applied, you're going to be thinking about doing so soon. You've got up until the 17th of March to join us on this month's intake, which all kicks off on the 27th of March. And it will be Tara and her team who will be looking after you at that point once you enroll. So I'll pass over to Tara now to tell you a little bit more about what the Learning Experience team do.
Thank you, Chris. So our learning experience team is me and Ricky, and we are based here in the UK and in Spain, Seville. So basically we take over from the sales team once you've applied, and we are here to just make sure that you get all the way through to graduation. We answer all of your non-academic questions, and we work very closely with the academic team to make sure that all of your questions are answered. We help you onboarding. We make sure that you've got all of the information that you need to get started. We make sure that you've got, where to pay and how to pay. You've got access to Canvas. You know how to use Canvas as well. So we make sure that all that is all working and ready for you. So we take all of the stress away from you right at the beginning. We provide you with a really good, strong induction so that you're set up for success before you start. When you're studying, we also provide you with weekly drop-in coffee sessions so that you can come in, ask any questions, provide us with any feedback. Feedback is a really good one for us to have from you guys so that we can make sure that you're having a streamless journey from the start all the way through to graduation. The Learning Experience team will also help you set up with Canvas, and we'll also make sure that you are all the way through to graduation as well. With graduation, obviously you get to do it in Rome. I've just come back from Rome. I know Gurley had said at the beginning of this webinar, and we actually got to meet each other in person rather than in a screen, which is absolutely wonderful. And for those of you that haven't been to Italy before, they are the most welcoming people ever. So thank you very much, Gurley. And we definitely look forward to celebrating your graduation ceremonies together as well in Rome. I know that they'll do it in a beautiful manner. So if you haven't applied already, please do so. We will look forward to helping you and guiding you through your journey. Thank you.
Thank you, Tara. Now we've got a great opportunity to hear from a student on the program. So what I'd like to do is pass over to Ryan now, who, if you don't mind, thank you for joining us today on the session about the Global MBA. It would be great to understand sort of what brought you to Ducere and to our Global MBA program, a little bit about sort of your background and the industry that you work in, and your experiences so far.
Great, thank you so much, Chris. Again, my name is Rhea Roll. I'm the Director of National Sales and Business Development with Vail Resorts. I have been in hospitality and sales for 25 plus years, and my team oversees sales for 15 destination ski resorts. So I've wanted to pursue my MBA for some time, but I needed to find the right kind of program that would fit my needs, especially working for an international company, having small children, having to balance between my work commitments, my hockey practice and cheer practice and all of those things that come along with being a mom, and really finding the right kind of program that I could, it could be on my time. It can be under, my terms, the right kind of development for me, personal and professional, that relates to my industry, that I can connect with individuals across the globe and get their perspective. So this program gives me that flexibility. The professors, I've actually had Juan Carlos set the calendar so that you can know exactly what your timeline is going to be, the expectations of tutorials, engagements, assignments, so that you could really plan ahead. And so far, my experience has been just that really good time management has allowed me to get my readings done, get my assignments completed, engage with my cohort, and being able to have discussions with them, get different perspectives, and then being able to bring some of those assignments back to my day-to-day. So I'll just share my first big assignment related to change management, creating a change management plan and being able to bring that back to my company, lay out my plan, and have real impact and effect in change that I can again apply to my day-to-day. So far it's been the right kind of program for me, because it gives me that flexibility, and then I can go back and rewatch a tutorial and reconnect if I need to, and connect with my professors, connect with Tara and our academic support. Everybody gets back to you within 24 hours, so it's you feel like where you're at as you go along. So thank you, Tara. Being able to support the questions that we have quickly, so that you can move forward and making sure that you're engaging in the right way.
Amazing. Thank you for that. And would you say that did you have any reservations about joining an online university course?
I did. Again, from a time perspective, I needed to find the right kind of program, and that was focused on the leadership and professional development, especially applying it to my industry. So I had reservations because I didn't know how am I going to be able to connect with these people all over the world, all over the globe. How is that going to work? And I would say, don't let that hold you back. Take the leap, because I'm almost kicking myself that I had not done it sooner. That was, the fear of the unknown, and this piece has brought so much flexibility. It's on my terms, and I'm learning so much, again, from the content and from our professors, and especially from the individuals in my cohort and what perspective they bring that I would never have gained if I was just sitting in one place, but being able to get those perspectives from all over the world.
Amazing. And how are you interacting with your fellow students within the cohort?
So we do have WhatsApp, so we have texts going back and forth in our discussion groups. We have online connections through Teams, and sometimes through Zoom. So it really depends. People are reaching out individually and then having greater discussions, so that we're having that face-to-face interaction, even though we're across the globe.
So really all of the sort of things that you'd come to naturally expect kind of through a campus-based program are being delivered through digital channels instead, and actually probably giving you more flexibility then to interact, as you say, like on your terms, and around your timings as well. So it kind of works for everybody, especially when you're looking at it from a global cohort of students, and maybe, you know, communicating across different time zones as well.
Absolutely. And I would say that is one of the most unique pieces of this, is getting the perspectives of individuals from all over the world when we're in our discussions, and bringing such diversity is exactly what I was looking for, and just meeting so many really exciting new people across the world.
Amazing. And one final question that I've got for you before I'm sure lots of our attendees will have questions for you also. But you know, whilst you're still on the program, sort of what are your visions about how you might be able to utilize this qualification, you know, post-graduation?
Well, first, I plan on going in person, so I just wanted to call that out. I can't wait to attend in person. Tara has made it seem so enticing. I want to meet all these people live. But, you know, I really want to use this knowledge and the skills to be able to advance my career and continue just to grow as an individual, and take that, you know, to the next chapter in my life, and be able to, I think it's just continuing to grow and being able to use this to leverage that into my next role.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for joining us today. What we're going to do now is open up the floor to any questions that we may have from our attendees. On the screen, what you can see is QR codes for where you will be able to reach out to an enrollment advisor. So if you scan the QR code, it will give you the ability to book in a session. As you can see, we've got 2 regions for our enrollment advisors. We've got the USA and the UK. So if you're not sure, or maybe you haven't spoken to an enrollment advisor previously, please select one to the best region for you. And what we'll do now is we shall wait for some questions to come on through. Don't be shy, everybody. We've got some questions actually right here now. So I shall just run through them. Our first question is, when do you study, and how many hours per week do you usually study? Well, I think that's going to be over to Raya. How have you found this so far in terms of your study hours throughout the course?
So it's typically between, I say 5 and it could be up to 15, depending on, you know, if we have a big assignment that we're preparing for. Typically, it's going to be in the evenings, you know, after the kids are asleep, and being able to dive into that, or early mornings. Again, it's all about time management. It's been very doable, even with an active lifestyle. So I would say, you know, between, I'd say 5 to 15, 15 very rare.
Perfect. And that's the thing, is that for each individual student, you know, each module that you go through will be different. You know, this is what we expect to see, is that for some modules, someone's going to have fantastic knowledge on prior to joining the course. And, you know, an MBA program is about sort of exposing those gaps and filling them. And that's where you might see sort of the higher numbers of study hours per week for a module. But that's all sort of averaged out on some of the others that you might take. So yeah, great to hear that firsthand from you.
Sorry, Chris, just to add as well, just on average as well, it is usually around about 7 hours. That's how we've averaged it from Canvas. And just for people to know kind of around calendars, when you study will be each module happens for 7 weeks. and then obviously that goes on to the next one and you do one module at a time, and it's all done through Canvas, but it can be as flexible as you want it to be, so you can literally study when's best for you. So if it is when the kids are in bed, or if it is very first thing in the morning, or if it's holding on until the weekend, it works either way.
Thanks, Tara. And there's another question that you might be able to help with here, which is about the support that's available if you haven't studied for a while.
Yeah, absolutely. There's loads of support for students. I mean, the main thing about this course, and the main thing that we do advocate for this course, is that it is designed especially for students that haven't been in education for a long time. So the way that we've structured it, the way that the course reads, the way that our academics will teach you and bring in your practical experience around the academic underpinning is all designed this way. So you know, it's not asking you for really long assignments and everything. We have broken them down into quizzes, we've broken them down into discussions for a lot better and a lot more applied learning.
Brilliant.
In terms of support around you, you've got your academics who will do Q&A sessions and webinars. You've got myself and Ricky on the learning experience side, who will obviously be there to support you with all of your non-academic questions as well. And before you get to that point, we do provide you with as much as we can before you start. So giving you a little bit of a sneak peek on how Canvas works, showing you how to manage your time. We give videos on writing and researching and how to reference as well. So we provide you with all that before you start.
Brilliant. Now, I know that Raya had touched on one of the assignments that had been set already, but someone has asked sort of what is an example of assignments that they might see across this program. So I'm going to pass over to Juan Carlos maybe to shed some light on this area.
So the previously mentioned assignment is actually a good example. In that course, we had the course is called Managing Transformational Change. What we did is we had 3 discussion modules, and the way that discussions work is you'll be given a prompt, oftentimes like a scenario to think about, something that would have happened in the workplace, or maybe to consider a specific issue. You'll post once for 200-300 words, nothing too crazy, a couple paragraphs, and then you'll respond to your classmates at least a couple of times. And the idea behind those assignments is that you get the opportunity to learn not just through your initial research and understanding the scenario, but also in getting those different perspectives of how different things are thought of across the world, and how different cultures may perceive the exact same issue through the specific lens of how they had of their general worldview, right? And then we finished off the class with an assignment that was a change management plan. And the idea for that plan was to take an organization, preferably one that you work for or were involved with, and basically create an actionable plan for a change that you wanted to see in that workplace. Now, this change could have been something relatively, and I use the quote relatively here loosely because to somebody who's project managing a change, there's no such thing as a small change, but it could be something perceived as relatively small, like maybe your company is digitizing something that used to be done exclusively on paper. And you might be looking at this and saying in 2023, it's like, trust me, yes, it happens a lot. Or it could be something relatively large, like opening up a new location, or having all of your workforce either transition completely telecommute or to come back to the office, either way. So lots of examples. And then what you do is you would literally create a plan. So you would explain the circumstances. You'd be writing the plan as if you were writing it to to either your boss or your client who is going to give you the green light to go through with it. And you would walk them through the process. This is why we need the plan. This is what we're trying to do. This is who we think is going to put up a little bit of a challenge. This is how we can overcome that challenge. Like that assignment is designed so if you put in the work into it, you would be able to take that report to whomever you want to get the change exercise from, and they would say, okay, put it into practice. and the students that got the highest grade, and you're looking at one of them, that's exactly what those reports were. They were reports that maybe with a couple of tweaks here and there were ready to go, and could have been implemented in the workplace immediately.
Excellent. Thank you for that. And in terms of the sort of grading and pass rates for assignments, how does that side of things work across this program?
So I will say that I don't have a number in my head for pass rate. I was trying to think about it when I saw the question, but I really don't know off the top of my head. But I will say it generally boils down this way. If you are willing to approach an assignment from the perspective of something that you're willing to work on, right? Whether it be the organization you're a part of or one that you're really interested in. And you also watch the webinars that every faculty does for every assignment. And those are usually available at least 2 weeks before each assignment is due, sometimes more. If you watch those webinars, you see everything we're looking for in the assignment, and you choose an organization that you have some sort of connection to, meaning that you have access to the kind of information that would tell you, like, for example, who is it that is going to be really supportive of a change management plan, and maybe who is it that likes things the way they are. If you do those things, generally you mark pretty well. It's that simple. The papers that don't do as well, they don't do as well for the same reason they would anywhere. Maybe they miss a couple of things in the assignment brief. They missed a couple of instructions, kind of generic stuff. But if you take the course seriously, just like you would anything in life, then you'll do pretty well.
Yeah, perfect.
Sorry,
And
just to add on the rates of assignments. So we've got our first group of students coming up to graduation, completing the course. And all of them are passing. So at the moment we're at 100% pass rate. We haven't had any fails at all, and all of them will graduate with MBAs.
excellent. That's great to hear. And so in terms of this question that we've got here of how the structure of the assignments are set out, and I think you've kind of just touched on this a little bit there, Juan Carlos, in terms of if somebody's not currently working, how can they base their assignments? Do they bring in previous case studies? I don't know what the situation of this individual is. Maybe they've got a startup business, that they could potentially write this around. Sort of, have you any examples of individual students who aren't particularly writing about where they're currently employed?
Sure. There have been some companies. So generally when we do the assignment webinars, I always start with the top of the hierarchy is to do it on a company that you either are the entrepreneur in or one that you're working directly for, right? Because of that institutional knowledge. The second part of the hierarchy is I say choose a publicly traded company that you're interested for one reason or another. The reason why we say publicly traded companies is because regardless of where you are in the world, there's a certain level of reporting of information they have to do, usually on a quarterly basis. So for example, if you're here in the States, you would get to read through the quarterly documents, and you'd see stuff as detailed as who they're planning to target their market for marketing, what their customer acquisition cost is. I'm not going to bore you with all the details, but the point is there's a lot of stuff, right? And so one of the more popular companies recently that students have worked on is Twitter, because it's been in the news recently. You could understand why for a class that's called Managing Transformational Change, a company like Twitter would be an interesting source of change to discuss. I read a couple of papers on Twitter that were pretty good, but really there are a lot of options available to you. It doesn't necessarily have to be a firm that you're affiliated with. Sometimes it could be a firm that maybe your family works for, a friend. Oftentimes, actually, I've seen a couple of really good papers on firms that the students don't work for, but that they are regular customers of. And so they have a connection there through interest in, they obviously want the company to succeed because they like the product and they want to keep buying it. So you have a lot of options available to you. The reason why we recommend the organization you're personally attached to is what I mentioned earlier. You're almost always going to have more information about how the company works if you're on the inside, right? That's just the nature of information. But there are a lot of options available to you, and the papers with the highest marks are not exclusively papers that came from internal organizations. Oftentimes they're students who just picked a publicly traded company they liked and talked about it.
Yeah, excellent. So lots of opportunities available to our students across these assignments. Thanks for those examples, Juan Carlos. We've got a question here around what if certain modules sort of require a bit more time? Now, this is a structured program. So I guess really what leads into this is what happens if there's additional support around someone who maybe is struggling with their time. Tara, if I can pass this over to you.
Yeah, absolutely. So we've always got safety nets there for students who ever need it. I mean, it is a stringent course, you know, every module is for 7 weeks and we do keep to those 7 weeks and the next module will start. But if students do ever need to have a little bit of extra time on a discussion, or they need a little bit of extra time on submitting an assignment, there are always safety nets that we can help you with. And it's just it's called an ECP, basically an ECP form. And it's a very simple process that we get you approved, and then you get a little bit of extra time.
Okay, fantastic. And we've got a question about graduation. Obviously, we have covered the fact that our students will be able to attend in Rome. But I wonder, Gurley, if I could bring you in just to provide a little bit more information about what happens around graduation week. What could our students expect to see if they do come and join you in Rome?
Well, obviously, we welcome you with a big hand, because obviously this is a positive and really a celebration with all the students. Usually we host a graduation week for like more than 2,000 students here in Rome. And most especially for Ducere Global MBA students with Rome Business School, we have designed a week international experience that not only about business to business meetings and academic trainings, but also cultural and networking experience. So I think you can thoroughly act as like, you have that experience of being an MBA candidate to graduate. And I think it's a great opportunity to really connect and work with everyone. And we have the program that we've designed for a week during the graduation week is clearly dedicated to Ducere Global MBA students with Rome Business School. And that has been customized and thought wisely with Ducere team and the international team of Rome Business School. And I'm very proud of that, because we put the students as the center of that program. And I would say that they are going to be our alumni, and they will carry our flags wherever they are in a workplace, whatever the positions they were going to assume as a leaders in the workplace or in the businesses. So I'm just really excited and encourage you to learn more about what you need to learn in order to ensure that your choice to enroll in this program is really something would be beneficial for your future. I think that's the key to that. And the bottom line is really to ask questions. So it's your time. We are here for you.
Excellent. Yeah, and what an opportunity to be able to go over to Rome and not just have that ceremony, but a whole program that's been dedicated, to this Ducere program with Rome Business School. So thanks for shedding some light on that area for us. And all of the students that join us, we really do hope that you can come and join us in Rome at the end of your program for graduation. It doesn't look like we've got any more questions that have come through. For anybody that's viewing this, if you think of something later, here are the QR codes. We'll just go back one more slide, please. Those QR codes, feel free to get in touch with an enrollment advisor if you do have any questions that come to mind after this webinar session. We really do hope that you can join us on the Global MBA. Just to go over the key dates again, our March intake starts on the 27th of March, and you have until the 17th of March to get your application in, which is as simple as providing us with your CV, and a scan of your passport. Any further questions that you have around it, please do get in touch. But otherwise, thank you so much to all of our panelists today. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you soon.
Well, thank you so much. Have a nice evening. Bye.
Take care, everyone.
Ciao.